question for today. Should a parent sign their child up to try new activities like a particular sports, art, etc., even if the child is reluctant? And if they don't like the activity they might have initially shown interest in, should you let them quit? And if so, when and how? Mom in Franklin, Tennessee. That was a great question. The answer is not simple because you don't know all the ins and outs of what's going on and what really happened beforehand. But I think one of the things that you need to think about is communicating as much up front as you can with your child if you're going to have them participate in an activity, especially if it costs a lot of money. And say, this is what we're paying for this. Are you sure you want to do it? Now, if it's an activity that you just wanted them to do and they got into it and they said, Mommy, I don't really like this, then there needs to be some outs that way somehow. But you need to, if you need to have the policy, if you start something, you finish it. It's just good stewardship. And it teaches us diligence and perseverance and, that everything is not fun. And we have to continue on to do what we've been called to do no matter what. And so I think those questions need to be answered. But I think also the age of the child. And if they're older, say 9 or 10 years old, 8 even maybe, depending on the child, I think to sit down and talk about what the activity is going to be, and then to say, this is what's going to be involved, research it, talk about it, make the decision. If we do it, then we're going to finish it. If it's a 6 weeks class or whatever, have an end point is a good thing too. Let's try this for 6 weeks. And if it doesn't pan out, then we'll talk about it at that point. But going into it knowing that at least there's going to be that determination that we're going to finish what we've started. And so I think that would be a good thing to do. But helping that child make the decision is a very good thing, to help them to think clearly about what they're deciding to do. To say, this is going to involve, it just even to say playing the piano. If Mom and Dad go buy a piano and bring it into the house, then we're kind of committed to learning how to play it. But if we're just going to get a little keyboard and start that way and try to learn and see if we like it, that's different. But I think also to talk to them about it, it's not just sitting down and playing happy tunes and learning how to do it real quick. Like, it's not going to be that way. It's going to be a lot of practice and a lot of hard work. And so are you willing to put the work in? A team sport, if you're going in with a team sport, to do the same thing, to sit down and say, now, you're not the only one on the team, so you can't cop out in the middle. We need to finish whatever that time period is. If you don't like it after that, you don't have to do it anymore. I don't think you should force them into activities. I think you need to choose the activities. Don't do too many activities because then you don't have time for family. And then sometimes you don't even have time for church, and that's not good. Some of the things to look into are some of the sports they're going to play. Are they going to play on Sunday? Are you going to allow that? What is it that you're going to allow your child to do or not to do? And I think all that needs to be decided beforehand, and then get into the project maybe, and then to be able to say, this is our out time. We can get out of this at this point. And so give them an out if they don't like it. Because the truth is, if they've never tried it, they're not going to know for sure. And so I would try to find something that they could try, and that would be for a short period of time, and to see if they really like that particular thing. But helping them to learn that diligence is important, that God wants us to be diligent. He wants us to be a person of our word. If we join a team, we're going to be a part of that team as things go along. So I think that's something that needs to be addressed as well. A lot of good teaching points with those situations, and they come up in every family. And so whatever thing that you're into, make sure good communication. I'd say give them an out somewhere, and then talk about it before you make any other decisions. So I hope that's been helpful. We'll see you next week.